Ever wondered how those perfectly shaped, glossy, cream-filled donuts from your favorite donut shops are actually made? It all starts with the dough. In giant spiral mixers, a soft, elastic donut dough is carefully kneaded until it reaches the perfect consistency: light, fluffy, and smooth. Once it's ready, the dough is transferred onto wide conveyor belts, where rollers flatten it into sheets, just like a human baker might dust their surface with flour to prevent sticking. These machines do the same automatically, sprinkling a fine layer of dry flour onto the dough before it's rolled out. The dough for donuts is usually a bit thick, so large drum rollers gradually compress it into a thinner, uniform sheet. Any extra flour is gently swept away with brush rollers. Preparing the dough for cutting now comes the fun part: the shaping. Donut cutters, which look like big cookie stamps, punch out perfect donut rings from the sheet. It's mesmerizing to watch. In seconds, hundreds of donut shapes are punched out, while the leftover dough part around the holes is separated and collected neatly. Previously, separating the donut holes was tedious work, but now, robotic clippers remove them efficiently and collect the holes to be used as extras or fried separately. The punched-out donuts continue on their journey while the scrap dough is directed down to collection bins to be recycled into the next batch. It may look easy, but this entire process relies on the exact calibration of high-precision machines, ensuring that every donut is identical in shape and size. Next, the shaped donuts head to the proofing chamber. Proofing is where the magic of fluffiness happens. This step gives the dough time to rise, develop air pockets, and become soft and spongy, the kind of texture that practically melts in your mouth after frying. After rising for a specific period, under controlled temperature and humidity, the donuts are ready to take a hot oil bath. They are carefully transferred into massive industrial fryers, where both sides are fried until golden brown. The fryers are programmed with pinpoint timing to flip the donuts halfway through, making sure each side cooks evenly. Watching rows of donuts float, puff, and turn golden in perfect sync is almost hypnotic. Once fried to perfection, the donuts are scooped out using wire sieves and moved onto the next set of conveyor belts. They pass through alignment tools that spin and place each donut in a consistent pattern to prepare them for cooling. As they cool, they rest on special cooling plates to allow the outer layer to crisp up slightly while staying pillowy inside. After cooling, the donuts roll forward, lining up under precise nozzles that fill them with rich cream, custard, jam, or even chocolate mousse. These injectors, connected to colorful tubes filled with different fillings, push the flavor into each donut with surgical precision. And just like that, the humble ring or ball of fried dough is transformed into a filled dessert bomb of happiness. Next comes the chocolate coating, arguably the most drool-worthy part. The filled donuts are placed on a moving belt that passes over a flowing pool of hot, melted chocolate. This chocolate waterfall coats one side of each donut with a glossy, warm layer of sweetness. The system is so carefully designed that each donut lands perfectly on the belt without smearing or dripping chocolate everywhere. After their chocolate bath, the donuts enter the decorating phase, where another automated system sprays on white icing stripes in seconds. A human might take 30 seconds to decorate one donut this way, but these machines, they can do it in fractions of a second, producing thousands of gorgeous designs every hour. And if that wasn't enough to get your mouth watering, here come the toppings. Whether it's crushed nuts, rainbow sprinkles, or chocolate shavings, toppings are added using high-speed depositor machines that sprinkle the perfect amount with amazing accuracy. Any extra toppings that fall off are scooped up and recycled automatically. Then we arrive at the glazed donuts, the ones with that shiny, sticky sweet coating that cracks just a little when you bite into it. Glazed donuts go under a continuous sugar glaze waterfall that coats the entire surface. As they pass through, Extra glaze drips away while the donuts are left with a perfect, even coating that hardens into a delicate outer shell while sealing in softness on the inside. But it doesn't stop at chocolate and glaze. For donut lovers who enjoy something a little extra, these donuts pass through even more stations where they're coated in powdered sugar, cinnamon dust, or other custom toppings. Then comes the sprinkle station, the final stop for many donuts. Conveyor belts carry the finished donuts under automated sprinkle dispensers, which shower them in colorful toppings based on the flavor or design. Extra sprinkles fall into trays and are immediately recirculated for reuse. Any remaining glaze, or topping residue, is filtered off by sieve rollers before the donuts move on to packaging. Now we're at the grand finale: packaging. Each donut, whether chocolate-dipped, cream-filled, or glaze-covered, is neatly aligned and packed into branded boxes using automated arms. These boxes are sealed, stamped, and sent off to be distributed to donut shops and cafes across the country. Every step of the way, hygiene is a top priority. The machines are designed to minimize human contact, keeping the environment sanitary and efficient. This ensures every donut that makes its way into your box is not only delicious, but clean, fresh, and safe to eat. And what about the specialty-filled donuts? Those have their own production setup. Dough for these is shaped into perfect balls and dropped into custom molds that shake slightly to round them out. After rising and frying, the filled donuts line up to be injected with flavored creams and custards. They're dipped into chocolate or fruit glaze, and each one is checked for weight and shape. It's not just automation, it's edible engineering at its best. Some lines even have mini glazing stations for cookies and biscuits, where baked goods are drizzled with syrup or honey glaze and tossed in sprinkles, perfect for seasonal treats or holiday additions. And finally, for foods that aren't just donuts, there are machines specifically made to portion pre-cooked meals into boxes. These machines measure precise amounts, like 150 grams per box, and fill each tray evenly without spilling a single drop. Some even dress salads or desserts with syrups or oils using adjustable nozzles. It's smart, efficient, and a game changer for modern food manufacturing. From dough to glaze, sprinkles to packaging, what used to take dozens of bakers and hours of labor now happens in minutes. It's an assembly line of flavor that never stops working day and night to deliver your favorite donuts just the way you like. Then crispy on the outside, airy on the inside, and absolutely loaded with flavor the next time you bite into a glazed or cream-filled donut. Let's dive into one of the most mesmerizing food factory tours you'll ever see. Imagine a machine that cuts cookie dough into perfect floral shapes, no messy hands. No rolling pins, just automation doing what it does best. Each shape glides forward onto a conveyor belt, heading to the next fascinating step, the dropping machine. Here, dollops of thick, sticky sweet berry paste are gently squeezed onto the center of each cookie with machine-like precision. But that's not all. Another automated cutter slices and lays a second layer of dough over the top, sealing the floral biscuits and creating the perfect little sandwich of joy. The dough itself, it's not just rolled once or twice, it's been passed through heavy rollers multiple times until it becomes an even, thin sheet, just the right texture and consistency to shape and bake. If you're wondering what sweet treat this dough becomes, just wait, because it's probably one of your favorites. With barely a human hand in sight, the entire cookie-making process is fully automated, and it's surprisingly hypnotic to watch. From mixing and rolling the dough, to cutting, filling, and baking, it's all handled by machines that work with such accuracy and speed. It's hard to believe these aren't handmade. This level of efficiency doesn't just make baking faster. It ensures every single cookie looks and tastes exactly the same every time. The precision is part of the magic, and honestly, it's hard not to be impressed. But maybe cookies aren't what you're craving. What about pizza? let's switch gears and check out how one of America's favorite comfort foods is made on a massive scale. Forget kneading dough by hand. This is industrial pizza production at its finest. Giant rolling machines flatten massive sheets of dough and sprinkle flour on top to prevent sticking. Because yeast makes the dough rise, tiny air bubbles start forming, so machines roll over the sheets with pins to poke micro holes, letting the air escape and keeping the crust perfectly flat. Then, round cutters stamp out perfect circles, ready to become individual pizza bases. Next comes the flavor bomb, pizza sauce. With an impressive level of precision, sauce dispensers spread rich tomato sauce evenly across each pizza base, stopping just shy of the edge. It's so satisfying to watch, like watching your cravings get fulfilled in real time. And now, it's time for toppings. Whether it's gooey mozzarella, pepperoni slices, mushrooms, or bell peppers, each topping is layered on with thoughtful attention to distribution. After topping, the pizzas are lightly pre-baked to stabilize the base so it doesn't go soggy. Then, they're flash frozen, packed, and sealed to perfection. All you have to do is toss one in the oven at home, and 15 minutes later, dinner is served. Frozen pizza may not have the artisanal vibe of your local pizzeria, but for those late-night cravings or last-minute guests, it's the ultimate lifesaver. It tastes pretty amazing too. Want to look inside a different pizza-making facility? In this second factory, things operate a bit differently. Instead of cutting large sheets, the dough is placed directly into individual molds, allowing for a thicker, pan-style crust. Each base is carefully shaped before being passed down the line for sauce and toppings. Some people turn up their noses at frozen pizza, claiming nothing beats a fresh slice, but let's be real. These frozen varieties are fast, convenient, and surprisingly delicious. Whether you're too tired to cook or just want something easy after a long workday, frozen pizza hits the spot. Plus, there's no cleanup. Just heat, eat, and enjoy. Now for those who lean toward something a little sweeter, let's look at how. Soft sponge cakes are made in bar form. These light, fluffy cakes go through a multi-step process inside one of the most efficient factories around. Picture hundreds of cakes moving down an automated, line-baked, sliced, filled, and wrapped without a single pause. It's a beautiful balance between tradition and innovation. And if you're more into savory, comfort food, pasta might be calling your name. In one high-efficiency pasta factory, massive machines prepare thousands of boxed pasta meals each day. Why so many? Because pasta is everyone's go-to when hunger strikes out of nowhere. Whether it's a quick dinner, a late-night snack, or something warm on a rainy day, these boxed meals are fast, filling, and surprisingly tasty. These pre-made pasta boxes also deliver peace of mind. They're hygienically produced in sterile environments, keeping your food safe without compromising flavor. Watching those noodles get portioned, sauces stirred in, and boxes sealed with robotic arms is oddly calming. Imagine cows living in luxury, grazing through endless green pastures, their ears twitching with calm while their minds are immersed in soothing virtual landscapes. In a growing number of dairy farms, cows wear virtual reality headsets that simulate lush fields, creating a stress-free environment designed to boost their mood and, in turn, their milk quality. And honestly, watching them soak in the digital serenity makes you wonder if they're living a better life than we are. It's a quirky yet surprisingly effective method because happier cows, as studies confirm, produce creamier, tastier milk. That milk, by the way, is collected using fully automated milking systems. Specialized suction tools gently attached to each cow, and fresh body-warm milk is channeled directly into sterile containers without any human hands involved. Once the cow is milked, the system automatically detaches and moves on, ensuring comfort, hygiene, and efficiency at every step. Now, let's talk about what that premium milk can become. Rich, golden, French butter. Before the butter even arrives at the mixing table, it undergoes fermentation. This step, rooted in old-school French techniques, is crucial. Fermentation introduces cultured bacteria that deepen the flavor, giving French butter its complex. Once it's fermented, the butter reaches the kneading phase, but not on a modern steel conveyor. No. This happens on a wooden kneading station, just like it did 100 years ago. Using wooden paddles and tools, butter makers slowly knead the soft mass by hand, leaving behind a more concentrated, velvety product. At this stage, salt is added, but only just enough. French butter doesn't drown itself in salt like some commercial brands do. Instead, it uses it sparingly, enhancing the natural creaminess while also serving as a natural preservative. What you're left with is butter that hits the ideal fat content about 82%. That high fat percentage is no accident. It's what gives French butter its luxurious mouthfeel and golden color. Every bite spreads smoothly on toast, melts perfectly into a hot pan, and adds a silky richness to sauces, pastries, and fresh bread. It's not just food, it's a full experience. And just when you think the job is done, there's still the shaping to take care of. Butter is scooped out in generous chunks and molded into the classic rounded blocks or rolls that are iconic. 2 French culinary markets. During this phase, you might spot a seasoned butter master inspecting equipment in the quirkiest way, tapping, twisting, maybe even taste testing right there on the spot. That's how deeply personal this craft is. It's not about robots and rigid protocols, it's about tradition, touch, and trusting your senses. What seems like a simple slab of butter actually carries with it the echoes of time-tested methods. There's something special about watching real butter being crafted by hand. In France, this isn't just a culinary task, it's a tradition. French butter is shaped into smooth, elegant forms like round domes or neat rectangular blocks. Makes this extra charming is that many producers still rely on hand tools for shaping. This manual touch doesn't just give it an artisanal aesthetic, it plays a role in perfecting the butter's texture, allowing it to firm up beautifully and hold its shape. That balance of soft yet structured texture is a signature quality of true cultured French butter. But behind that smooth surface lies generations of skill. The techniques used in French butter making are deeply rooted in heritage, passed down through time with pride and precision. Many artisans still follow traditional methods, churning cream slowly, allowing natural cultures to develop rich, tangy notes and forming each batch with care. This isn't just food, it's craftsmanship. The result is a product that chefs around the world adore for its taste, quality, and performance in everything from delicate sauces to flaky croissants. And yes, it's incredibly fun to watch. Once formed, the butter balls are packed in airtight containers that preserve the freshness and flavor for as long as possible. So you get to enjoy that pure, creamy goodness long after it leaves the creamery. Meanwhile, these factories are part of a vast global seafood supply chain, with fish arriving from every ocean and region imaginable. After landing, the fish are quickly chilled and transported to facilities equipped with specialized machines for cutting, filleting, and deboning. It's a dance of precision. Each fish is handled with care to preserve texture and flavor while minimizing waste. Quality control teams are constantly checking for consistency, ensuring that the final product meets international standards before it's sent off to grocery stores and restaurants. It's a seamless operation that brings the oceans